Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to AJ2's Video Game Review. Now I'm going to be reviewing Madden 19. Um, so, um, this game has improved, I think, from last year just a bit. There's still some things that, really they really have to, like, fix and get their crap together. It really does. Let me start with those. Start the things that they really need to fix. I think the very first thing is like the creative player and creative playbook stuff. You know, they had it right a couple years ago. I think it was Madden. There's 19, Madden 17. When you created a playbook, you could not only use all of the playbooks from the your 32 teams, but then you also had playbooks that you could use from, like generic playbook, like run heavy, pass heavy, run balance, pass balance, run and shoot, things like that. And you could make playbooks from those. And they're like taking that away. Because now, what they've done, in the past couple of years, they've taken that away. So now you select the playbook, and most of these, other playbooks from the regular teams are all filled up. All 500 plays are almost there. So, so here's the thing. I think what they need to do is they either need to bring back the generic playbooks, or if you're going to keep it that way, then fine. But then let us be able to edit that playbook the way we want to, and then take away plays. You can do that now, but then sometimes what you do is you come around. Well, this is in the game plan. Okay, but then let's take that out. Let's make that should be not editable. You can't when you select the playbook, you don't select the game plan. You select the game plan after you have created everything. After you've done everything, and then you said, and you hit done or whatever, you hit, then the thing would come up and say, now select your game plan. And you can select your game plan, from the same 32 teams, and then you can, bam, add that in there, and then the plays that you have, that respond to that game plan. You can see, do you have like 30% or like 40% of the plays or whatever? Then you can put that in there. Or actually, to be honest with you, maybe you just get rid of the whole damn game plan to begin with, because you're not. I don't know. It's not really usable. It doesn't make any sense. So, or randomize it. Anything that you can maybe hit randomize it so that when you select it, randomize it so that it will just automatically select the plays. Maybe off of the system stuff, that they use, where where you select those plays, and when you do use the game plan, it says 20% of this play has been used by 40% of the people in the system or on the server, whatever the hell the fuck they calling it. Yeah, that's what you do. You do that way. But the way they got this creative playbook now is not good. They have to revamp the creative playbook. And they also have to revamp the creative player. Listen. You have to well, first of all, you have to revamp entire well, you don't have to revamp. Here's what you have to do for the biggest part. Is just make it easier to select, certain things. If you don't want to like put preload names in there or preload for the names, okay, that's fine. But you got the schools in there. There's no reason for you can't have a drop down menu for schools. There's no reason you can have a drop down menu for states. You can have a drop down menu for cities. That's so easy. Guys, guess what? You did it back in the old days on the college football game. There was a drop-down menu for like if you created a player, for a college football player, and you had him in Florida, it would be a drop down screen of all of the cities that in Florida that he could come from. Why can't you do that in Madden? You should be able to do that in Madden. Drop down menus. At least for the schools and the cities and states that they come from. I don't get this. Why do you have to move it all around? Or for the fucking cities, why do you have to type it in? No. Drop down menus, guys. Come on. Drop down menus. And I would rather have drop down menus for names, but you know what? Fine. Keep the names in there. And there should be some drop down menus for some other things too, like when you get to the appearances. Maybe you should have drop down menus for that too. Select the appearance and then you can do all of that, but I don't know. So yeah, I think you gotta, you gotta get some more new faces. Yeah, each year the faces should change. It shouldn't be the same faces each and every year. That damn face that looks like Dwight Freeney. It's been in the game for the last 6 years. So I mean, come on. Let's get new faces each year. New faces each year. And so everything else I think is pretty much good. I think. I will say I think that you have to have the option to put them in free agency. I really do think you have to have that option. I really do, because you put them on 32 teams, but sometimes it might be better to put them in free agency and then go back when you do the reorder roster and then sign them to a free agency, something like that. So maybe you can even do that, but that's neither here nor there. When you talk about creative players, the biggest thing you gotta have. Every game has this. Every other game has this. It doesn't matter what. Doesn't matter if it's MLB The Show. Doesn't matter if it's NBA 2K, NBA Live. They have the ability to save your creative players somewhere. Whether it's on the system on the PS4 in like Major League Baseball Show, or whether it's like NBA 2K, where it's in the things that when you create them, they go directly to a place where when you do the roster updates, you can just go there, select them, and then assign them to another team. And that's what Madden, you gotta do that, guys. This is something that you gotta do. Let's get this together. Yeah, and then we gotta talk about this thing. It is you gotta fix it so that the weather happens in the state. It just can't just be that one. If I play sideline, I know some other people play sideline. I know the majority plays from that behind the quarterback thing. That's not football. Football, when you watch football on television, you watch it from the sideline view. So that's how I play. So when you play that way and you're playing in rain and snow, it doesn't even come down. It's out there on the field, but it doesn't come down. But then when you go to a cutscene, it comes down. Or if you were ever like to change the view, just to get you a pre-read view, and you change it to the behind the quarterback view, you see it's coming down, but you don't see it from sideline. Come on now. I mean, I've been saying this for years. You gotta fix that. You gotta fix that. And by the way, although I'm just gonna say this because I believe it's probably true, even though I'm not for sure, but I'm almost certain that when it comes to like this sideline view, you probably have, again, you didn't fix the stadium issues. I can probably guarantee that you probably still have a lot of teams on the upper sideline when they're on the lower sideline, and then from sideline view. I'm almost certain. So and if you don't, I apologize, but you gotta get that together. Another thing, when you go to franchise mode and you want to relocate your team or you want to rebuild your stadium, I'm all for selecting stadiums. I'm all for that. But give us some other options too. Like give us the option for like lights and what the thing is gonna be, the jumbotron, and the most important thing, the grass. What is the grass going to be? The playing surface. Give us the option to play on grass. Give us the option to play or on field turf. But just don't make it random to certain stadiums. I don't want that. Because if I want to pick another stadium that's that I like, but just give me field turf, I don't want that. I want to have the option, customizable options. Come on. Oh, these are some of the same things that and this is one of the things, like if you were you guys on YouTube, if you would go like searching, there are a lot of videos about NBA 2K, about WWE. I'm sure there are some out there about Madden and MLB The Show, and a lot other ones where they just talking about where these guys, where these games, they repeat the same shit, and they really don't try to improve on the game. They really do not. They really do not, because they know that we're gonna buy them. And we complain about them. We complain about them, but when it comes around, we're gonna buy them. And I understand that, because I don't know if these have been the same complaints I've had for Madden for like 3 or 4 years, and they still don't get fixed. They want to give us some fucking long shot thing that I don't know who fucking plays long shot. Who gives a damn about any of that? I don't. I really don't. Stop fucking worrying about the long shot and fix these other problems. Make them better. Now with these year's games, there were some other things too. There were some improvements, and I liked them, and I really did. I like the fact that that they've added things like to franchise mode, and also to the thing, but I'm talking about more on the franchise mode. They've added things like specialist positions. So they've added like a slot receiver. So if you think if you want to put Darren Sproles in the slot, you could have him as the #1 slot receiver. It's no longer based on your regular depth chart 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not based on that anymore. Yeah, you want into your starters, but even if you wanted to do something where you want it, like Arizona did. If you have Larry Fitzgerald, but you want Larry Fitzgerald to always be in the slot when it's 3 or more receivers, then you can do that. You can have the slot wide receiver be Larry Fitzgerald. Other things, so I like that. I also like the fact about like slot third down backs and power backs, and there's a thing like the third down back. I've seen it where the third down back he's automatically inserted into shotgun formations. He's automatically. So again, if you get Darren Sproles, but like if your #1 back, let's say would just be excuse me, with Saquon Barkley, but but then you put the third down back as Darren Sproles in a fantasy draft franchise, then Saquon Barkley, he'll be there in I form and in strong guy and in single back, but in shotgun doubles flex, the running back is Darren Sproles on first down, not third down, on first down. So I think I like that, and vice versa could be if Darren Sproles is your main back, but you got Mark Ingram, who's a power back. They have a power back depth chart now. So now on I form twin tight ends, guess who's there? Mark Ingram, not Darren Sproles. I think that's funny. That's a benefit for defense too, so that you can have some people be like your rush defensive ends. That maybe are your linebackers, but maybe when you go into that package, that like that nickel package. But the way they used to do it, if you guys remember, if you went nickel, and let's say you were 3-4, so your pass rushers are your outside linebackers, and then your defensive ends are more likely. Sometimes they would be pass rushers if you got like J.J. Watt or somebody like that, but sometimes they wouldn't be. But now you can make it so that when you would go to like your nickel or your dime packages, now those defensive ends that not necessarily pass rushers are now can be your outside linebacker pass rushers. So I like that. They really have done a great job with that. So I'm a big fan of that. I'm also a big fan of what they've done with the coaching thing and having schemes now. I think this is fantastic. And then now you can have something fit your scheme. So I think that's great too. I think that's a new great way to play as well. So I like that as well. I also like the fact you take snapshots. I like the whole new way thing they've done with the franchise mode and how they're trying to upgrade it. Let's just fix that stadium stuff, y'all. Let's just fix that the more customizable options for a relocation or for a new build stadium. Let's go ahead and let's do that. Come on. But yeah, I enjoyed that. So yeah, I think the gameplay is still very good. Although I will say, it seems a lot harder to run the ball this year. It seems like that as soon as you get the ball, there's somebody in the backfield. I don't know if you guys have felt that way, but it seems like immediately as soon as I get the ball, no matter who I'm with, there's somebody in the backfield. And I'm like, yeah. I had a game the other day where I had, maybe 17, 18 rushes, 1 yard. And it wasn't like I was going to get some type of great defense and nothing like that. But it's just like, that's just the way it is. So, I don't know. I don't know if it's something I'm missing or something like that or whatever. But I'm going to have to try and figure that out. I don't know if it's something if it's the game or something like that. Because, sometimes these things are still what they are. And you have to try to, something new, you have to try to figure out the right way to use it. So, and that would be great too. If it's something where that you have to like select like the right play or the right scheme or something like that, then I'll be all for it. So I'll be down for that. I was just thinking about something else. There also it seems to be a simulation mode seems to be more competitive, which is good. The last year, use simulation mode. If you had, if you would blow teams out if you were better, or if they were better, they would blow you out pretty easily. Or if the games were competitive, way too much high scoring. It'd be 51-49. Basically, in a competitive game, it'd be high scoring. But the games I have played have been competitive. But they've almost been like almost low scoring games. Like I don't know if I've had a game where I played where I scored over 30 points. So that's good. The competitiveness is back on simulation mode, not competitive mode, on simulation mode, which is really, really good. So they've done some good things with that. So I am enjoying that. From one of the issues I've had in recent years with the whole stats thing is that the franchise mode is that sometimes your stats wouldn't appear. Sometimes if you'd have 3 or 4 guys on a stat basically in defense. The defense you'd have somebody with 8 sacks, with 7 sacks, and with 6 sacks. Only the 8 sack guy would show up, and sometimes he wouldn't even show up. But from what I've seen, they do have now where you see multiple guys. So I think they fixed that. Although I think they don't show anybody from the kicking. The kick. I know I've kicked field goals, to kick extra points, but when you go to kicking stats, they're all 0. So they got to fix that too. It's a lot of things that they still got to fix. They still got to get through. And listen, it is. It saddens me. It really does. Madden is a great game. It's a great game, great play. I love it. I play it all the time, and I'm always going to buy it. I'm always going to buy it. But the fact that they're just not almost willing. They're just willing to just tweak something here and there, and they're not willing to really dive in deep and to what they kind of should do. They just kind of rebuild, and a lot of these games to just like almost like rebuild the thing from ground up. Maybe try it that way. I understand saying that whatever works, don't fix it. I understand that completely, and I would be okay with that if the game was, perfect. The game was perfect, but there isn't. It's a lot of stuff that is just in there. I also would say that they should really get rid of all of these Madden Ultimate Team stuff. That's another thing that there's no reason to have that on there. But I also know that I actually think a lot more people like that. They like that thing other than the like that long shot bullshit. So I guess you're gonna have something exhilarating to the actual game and franchise mode. If you're gonna have a Madden Ultimate Team, I guess you can have that. But it's to me it's not really needed in there. You should be, like I said, working on all the stuff I've said in the past. So, again, another thing that I'm glad I didn't see this year is if I would have saw it this year, I would have flipped out. Last year, I was so upset at the fact that when you did franchise mode, you did a fantasy draft, you saw people that retired, like Devin Hester had retired, Rob Ninkovich had retired. And there were other, even older people who had retired. They were no longer in the league. They had been retired for 2 or 3 years, still in the fantasy draft. So I didn't see that this year. I've done 3 seasons with fantasy draft. So I mean, yeah, it is just it is incredible. So yeah. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I have to say about Madden and the things it has. So now to give my rating. I'm trying to think, and well, see, here's the thing. Like I said, I love the game. I love the way it plays. I love playing it. Everything like that. I have fun. I have enjoyment. This is, this is a 4, normally a 4, maybe 4.25 star game, right? When you talk about the gameplay and how you play and things like that. But just some of these other things that are just there, and it is, that needs to be, be taken care of, and it needs to be fixed. I, in good conscience, can't give it that high of a thing. I don't even know if I can give it, 3 stars. I think I'm gonna have to go to 2 stars. And believe me, trust me, that's something I don't want to do because I like to play. I know you would say you give a game that you like to play and that you're gonna play all the time, 2 stars, but I think that if we're not, I know I'm not. I speak for myself. I'm not gonna stop buying the games. However, as long as I continue to review these games for this channel, I can't in good conscience just say, "Oh, it's a great game. Go out and guys, it's 4.5 stars. I have all these complaints about it. It's still a 4 star, 4.5, 4.25 star game. No, I just can't do it. And maybe if there are some reviews out there that aren't as good as as they are, maybe they will listen. They will finally listen to us and fix some of these things. So, yeah, my final review for Madden is 2 stars. Sorry, guys. I love you guys, but let's fix some of these things up. Let's make this game better than it should be. Let's stop worrying about ancillary stuff and let's worry about gameplay and stuff for franchise mode and things for like creative players. I will say this: they've also done one of the things that I like is that they've added the you can create a draft class. You can create a draft class now, and then once you create that, you can upload it to the sharing thing, just like NBA 2K can. Like NBA 2K, you can create a draft class and then upload it to the system server so that other people can download them. And I think once again that's something that Madden I think took it away. I think that's good, and now they they need to do that with a few other things, something like that. So yeah, that's what it needs to be. So yeah. Once again, I think 2 stars is perfect. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Have you guys played it? What are your thoughts on it? What would your rating be? What do you think about the game itself and everything like that? And on a larger scale, are you also very very upset about things falling? I get so nervous when I see things like wasps and everything like that flying around the thing outside my window. Because I hate summer. Are you on a bigger scale, like when it comes to all of these games, are you one of those that are like, well, we these games just stay the same and they just worried about giving us trying to pay money for other things, and they're not really worried about trying to make this game the best game, the most realistic game it should be? So post your comments about that down there as well. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJ Tripp signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.